Ever wonder why celebrities give their kids such strange names? We definitely do. It almost seems like a requirement to come up with the weirdest, most uncommon name for their offspring. As the great William Shakespeare once wrote, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet." Well, Shakespeare didn't have to live with the name Diva Thin Muffin his whole life, and it doesn't change the fact that celebrities still manage to create the most unimaginable names for their children. So let's dish on some of the wackiest and strangest of them all, shall we?
So we looked up every name in the Bible that had Yay at the beginning, and like the only name was like Kal-El.
Ex-Ash Archangel. Elon Musk and his girlfriend singer Grimes gave birth to a beautiful baby boy in April of 2020. Unfortunately, when they announced the good news, the world was extremely confused about what to call him. The billionaire explained on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast the letter, number sequence, and their meanings. Turns out the X stands for the unknown variable, and AE is the elven spelling of AI, artificial intelligence. As for the A12, it is in reference to the couple's favorite aircraft that is non-violent but very fast. The A also refers to Archangel, which Grimes tweeted was her favorite song. Unfortunately, the state of California does not allow symbols or numbers, but only the 26 letters of the alphabet on a baby's birth certificate. So we're guessing if you put it all together and you write it out, it would have to be something like X-Ash Archangel 12. Perhaps the couple will give him a nickname and just call him Ash. That's not so bad, right? Culture Chiari. When Cardi B announced her baby's name, it had most people wondering what inspired her to name her Culture Chiari. Turns out Cardi didn't even pick the name, and it was all her husband Offset's idea. The rapper, whose real name is Chiari Kendrell Cephas, obviously chose his own name for his daughter's middle name, and as for her first name, it seems he has a thing for the word culture. The rapper, who is part of the rap group Migos, has 2 albums entitled Culture and Culture 2. Perhaps he was inspired by his own album names. To announce her baby's birth, Cardi tweeted her name saying, "Anything else would have been basic. Oh, crrr." Stormi Webster. Looks like Kylie Jenner's daughter's name, Stormi, was actually changed at the last minute. The makeup mogul wanted an earthy name like Willow or Storm, but also wanted her name to end in IE just like her name. The reality star couldn't decide on a name until she had to call to confirm the name on the birth certificate. As she started spelling it out, she stopped at the I. She told Travis she felt it was just supposed to be an I and no E, and that's how Stormi became Stormi. North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm West. Kim and Kanye West have 4 children, all with very unique names, starting with their eldest child, North. North was actually a name that Jay Leno suggested as a joke to Kim during an interview on The Tonight Show. Kim didn't like it at first, and it was Pharrell Williams who shared with her all the different meanings of the word that convinced her to choose North. Kim's second pregnancy was so difficult that the couple believed their child was a blessing to be in their lives, and Kim credits Kanye for choosing the name Saint. Kim Ye's third child took Kim 2 weeks to finally decide on Chicago. We're thinking this one was chosen because Kanye is from Chicago. As for the couple's 4th child, Kim came up with the name, and it looks like Kylie vouched for her, and that was enough for Kim to go with Psalm. Apple. Before Elon Musk named his child a bunch of letters and numbers, the world went crazy over Gwyneth Paltrow's decision to name her daughter Apple back in 2004.
If it's a girl, I think her name should be Apple.
People couldn't believe anyone would name their child after a fruit. Today, the name actually seems cute and sweet, which was the reason the couple had chosen it in the first place. And the name is actually the least strange on our list. Even Gwyneth herself, in reference to Elon's new baby, tweeted to ex Chris Martin saying, "I think we got beat. The world has crowned its newest, strangest name of all time." Blue Ivy. Another odd name choice is Beyonce and Jay-Z's firstborn child, Blue Ivy. It may seem like a random choice of names, but their daughter's name actually has a lot of meaning behind it. Although it was never confirmed, a few months after Blue was born, Beyonce posted an excerpt from A Field Guide to Getting Lost by Rebecca Solnit, and the entire excerpt references the color blue and its deeper meaning. We're pretty sure that had a little something to do with naming her daughter Blue. As for the name Ivy, there is speculation that the couple chose it because it represents the Roman numeral for the number 4, I and V. IV, get it? Turns out the number 4 actually has a lot of meaning for the couple. Both artists are born on the 4th day of the month, and even married on April 4th. They both have albums with the number 4, Jay-Z's is entitled 444, and B's 4th album is entitled 4. If you think about it, Blue Ivy is actually a pretty meaningful name and very creative. Suri Cruise. When Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes gave birth to their daughter, they shared a statement announcing her name was Suri. It noted that the name Suri was Hebrew for princess, and in Persian it meant red rose. Unfortunately for the couple, soon after, it came to light that the word Suri actually has several more meanings in other languages. Sadly, they were not as sweet or as pretty. In a Vanity Fair article a few months after Suri was born, Tom shared he had found the name in a baby book and later found out it meant red rose, which made them love the name even more. Never once does he discuss the unfortunate other meanings, and we understand why. Interestingly enough, as much popularity as the couple had at the time, the name did not stick as it never became trendy like other celebrity names normally do. You could say it probably left a Suri taste in parents' mouths. Rosalind Arusha Arkadina Altaloon Florence Thurman Buson. Uma Thurman and her husband, Arpad Buson, gifted their baby girl with not one, but 5 unique names: Rosalind Arusha Arkadina Altaloon Florence, whom the couple likes to refer to by her nickname, Luna. Yes, Luna, this took us a little bit to figure out, but we think it has something to do with her 4th of the 5 names, Altaloon, which has the Latin meaning that roughly translates to over the moon, and can be a variation to the Italian word Altaluna, meaning high moon, hence the nickname Luna. Also, the other A names all have some explanation or meaning and are not as made up as they sound. Arusha is a city in Tanzania, and Arkadina is the surname of a character in Anton Chekhov's play The Seagull. Although this is their origin, it's still unclear why Uma Thurman chose the names for her daughter: Moon Unit, Dweezil, and Diva Thin Muffin. Frank Zappa is a legendary musician who is considered to be one of the most innovative and stylistically diverse rock musicians of his era. He will also be famous for being one of the celebrities who picked the oddest of baby names for his children. Frank and his wife Gail have 4 children, and all of their names are unusual to say the least. His first child was named Moon Unit, and when she was born, Zappa gave his wife the choice between Moon or Motorhead. Gail obviously chose Moon. And their daughter's middle name is a reference to the term family unit because when she was born, that's what they became. Dweezil was a pet name Frank had in his head that popped out of his mouth when his son was born. Ahmet apparently was named after an imaginary butler, and their youngest daughter was named Diva because she was such a noisy baby. When Dweezil Zappa was asked if he was bullied as a kid, he responded, "Everybody thought our names were cool. Most of my friends wished they had creative names like us. Looks like Frank's choice of unique names wasn't such a bad thing after all." Radix. Cameron Diaz and husband Benji Madden announced in December of 2019 that they had given birth to a baby girl via surrogate. When the couple announced the baby's name, it had some people wondering where they got the unusual name. Although the couple never confirmed the reason behind their baby name choice, a mystery source told Us Weekly that the name was a spin on the word rad and some unspecified translation of new beginning. The Urban Dictionary defines the name from the Latin word radix, meaning root or source, referring to the force which gives rise to all movement, feeling, and growth in a person and in life. Now that's pretty deep stuff. Apollo Bowie Flynn, Kingston James McGregor, and Zuma Nestarak. Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale have 3 boys together, and all 3 children have very unique names to say the least. Turns out they have quite a lot of meaning for the famous singers. Apollo Bowie Flynn refers to Apollo, the Greek and Roman god of the sun, and his 2 middle names are the maiden names of Stefani and Rossdale's mothers. As for their other 2 children, their names seem to reference locations. Kingston James McGregor was chosen before the couple had children, and Gwen had been recording the Rock Steady album with No Doubt in Kingston, Jamaica. As for McGregor, it is Rossdale's middle name. Zuma Nestarak was named after Zuma, Malibu Beach, where Rossdale admitted to having an epiphany while working all night as a production assistant on a music video. As for Nesta, it is speculated that the couple have a thing for Bob Marley and used his middle name for their own child's middle name. And we can only guess that the couple's favorite music genre is rock and decided to name their child after it. Pretty easy. Moxie, Crimefighter, and Zoltan. These next 2 celebrity baby names sound like names for a superhero and her evil nemesis, but in truth, they are the names of Penn Jillette and his wife Emily's 2 kids. The one half of the magic duo Penn and Teller admitted he and his wife chose Moxie because it means chutzpah, which is the Jewish word for spunk. As for her middle name, Crimefighter, it seems the couple picked it jokingly. Emily doesn't even have a middle name. Penn claims he picked the name so if ever his daughter finds herself in trouble with the law, she can try the excuse that her middle name is Crimefighter. The couple chose Zoltan because it is Emily's maiden name. Penn further explained that for both of his kids, he wanted unique names because he always found it sad for kids who had regular names that were similar to everyone else's. So celebrities can get a little cuckoo creating baby names, but at least the majority try to add a special meaning behind them. We're curious to know what you think of these celebs' unusual baby names. Would you be daring enough to name your child something as unique or as bizarre? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for joining us here at The Taco.